Last time, started working on the first boss. Not necessarily the first boss you'll encounter, but first boss I'm gonna implement. Um, because it's gonna be of the type A. It's damaging itself as it's fighting basically. Um, so all you have to do is survive till the end. It's just like a survive till the end type thing. That seemed like the easiest implementation to approach first. So that is like since we have rat enemies already, I'll probably go at the end of a level with the rat enemies. So probably like the second round of levels, like the woods. And it's a giant rat king. I was having some trouble with the particles the end of the stream last time. It turns out the problem there was I just was basing my like custom particle shader. Here I can actually go in and show my custom particle shader on wrong the wrong like base shader. So where is it? Wrap particle here. Um, yeah, I was just doing particles, particle unlit, but you have to act since I'm using universal render pipeline for shader graphs. I have to use universal render pipeline base shaders for my custom shaders. So my custom base, yeah, for my custom materials. Uh, so if I just do particles unlit, it wasn't working, but this is working now. So yeah, I also did a bunch of tweaking to try and get a goodish look for like a chaotic rat particle ball. Let's see our guy here. Something like that. I think like one of the later goals I might try and do today is get it smaller and more chaotic as it loses health. Also telegraphs and stuff. But yeah, so we have like a basic skeleton here, but it still needs a fair amount of work to get it to like a finalized state. Or even close to like a finalized, like a first draft. This is still like work in progress. All right, I'm gonna fall down there and then I'm gonna die probably. That's fine though. So I also did offline between now and previous stream like some boring task management type stuff. Just like improving task tracking because I like OneNote for notes and like outlines and stuff like that. I like the like hierarchical setup. Um, but I was trying to use it for just use like tables for tasks. This felt like very clunky and bad. And you can see just by the dates that I abandoned it quickly. Um, but I still felt like I needed uh to get back into some task tracking because some things just like got this like long list of previous stream notes. Some things were just getting lost and I was forgetting them. Um, so I set up a Trello for it. Um, something like this. I split up the stuff. Um, some things I plan to do. But yeah, I know. I seems good enough. It's free. Uh, full free base version. Um, and kind of basically does what I wanted it to do, with what I wanted those OneNote tables to do. So hopefully it works out. Um, anyway, today though. Uh, not this. This is from last time. Just continue boss work. Just that's all it's doing. I split this up into a bunch of subtasks here that hopefully should be small enough that I can just like chew through them, knock them off one by one. Um, yeah. So the first group of them would be just like getting some more behavior stuff, adding some more attacks, you know, basically changing how the actual fight, like what the boss can do. And then we need like meta systems here under boss progress to actually track, like eventually beat the boss, give the boss health, have him lose health over time, changing the fight over time, stuff like that. And then a pretty large amount of visual stuff needs to happen as well. Um, telegraphs for one. Like it should do some kind of animation that gives you an idea what attack is about to hit before that attack sends. I think this is a great candidate for like way over exaggerated squish and stretch. I guess we'll see. And screen shake, another good one. Yeah, I know. Lots of stuff here that can make it look a lot better. So yeah, first group here is make it work. Second group is make it um like start and end progress. The third group is make it look better. So first thing to do is it says fix on lands view helpers as necessary for next. Basically what I want to do here is I want to write a helper function that lets me shoot rats in like a velocity cone um, in a particular direction. So like give it an angle and a direction and a number of rats and it'll shoot that out. Because it's just kind of randomly picking in a hemisphere right now, and I would want, like, if it's jumping to the right to shoot rats up and to the left. If it's jumping to the left, basically shoot towards the middle where the player is more likely to be. Also more consistent with like the actual jump that's happening. So yeah, and also I'm adding like this feature attack here. Shoot rats in player direction, actually just like pelt rats at the player. That relies on that would also use this helper basically. So that's right. I don't think it's going to be that hard. They're famous last words, but hopefully this is split up into small enough parts that it should be actually just check something. So so let's look at how we're spawning now. We're doing spawn basic add simple. We roll a random direction between right and left, I guess. Use this for anything? No, this should not be here. It's for the other one. So we make add prefab base at my parent's position. And then I shoot a random amount of force in the hemisphere, like the upward hemisphere unit circle. And then I apply that force, and then this is just like post setup. Oh, I remember. This is because they fade in and it was looking weird. Like they were just appearing because of the significant delay. This puts them right into their walk animation. Here, this is just telling them, this is updating their clamper, which won't let them move too far off the screen, and I believe will kill them if they hit the edge. That's just like managing the total amount of rats so we don't have like 10 billion rats falling off into the abyss. So I think we need all of this. Trying to think. We just need this to, I guess, take these parameters instead. So it would be something like I guess a vector2 direction and what the like an angle between direction, this spawn cone angle basically, and then also in force, max force. I guess this is being invoked. I mean, I can just put another layer of helper or whatever. And also, I want them to come out at the same time, I think. It's supposed to be when it hits, right? That's a good question. Like, what if I want this customizability, ability to customize, say, yeah, I think it's just another function call up. It's fine. Okay, so get rid of this. Force, max force. Okay. Now for the direction. We want to take the direction and basically take like half the angle clockwise and counterclockwise, and that is our acceptable cone. It's like vector to, maybe can we do like random range? What's our angle? Let's see. It's in a quaternion, that's not what I want. Okay, no, yeah, so I guess we just generate our random value between half of this. Angle offset is random dot range negative spawn cone angle. I guess I should do half spawn cone angle. So negative half spawn cone angle, half spawn cone angle. Okay, so now we have an angle that we want to rotate our vector by. So Forster is equal to, was it passed in as direction time, I guess 2 dot rotate maybe. Just, and yeah, I feel like there should be a built-in for this, but not. I guess I can just like get the in matrix. Do I have to? Mathf towards angle? No. I just basically I want the inverse of angle. just make the matrix. I'm surprised I have to. Creature is what I want. There. That gives me the rotation. And what's the problem? Why don't you like this? All right. So our Forster then Rotmet times direction. Looks like it's happy with that. I guess I can just say this is Forster 4 and then stir this and not this. Okay. That's like a round of changes. Let's make sure everything still works. In theory, I should be able to pass up as my direction and 90 degrees as my, or I guess 180 degrees as my angle between my ankle cone and get the same behavior. So why is this? I guess 'cause it's an invoke, it doesn't know it's gonna fail. Yeah. Not gonna do this. Or wait, that's special. Special as it is. I lost what I was looking at. There it is. Vector 2 up, say 180, and I think this was like 13 to 20. Okay, this should show similar-ish results. I think it pretty much did. Maybe 20 is too many, but like it still seems the same. And I think going at once does look better than all at a delay. Alright, so to try this out more, what we really want from our landing is we want it to be more upwardy. Upwardy. So let's just make it a much stricter cone angle to start with. This should still go up, but there should be less going horizontal-ish. It should be much more up now. First one looks good. Yeah, I think it's pretty much right. I think when I add a squish and stretch, it might, God, this sounds so dead. I'm gonna take a quick detour here. I'm gonna stop for a give us a half of this. We'll go back to it. But it's so quiet and dead. I'm just gonna steal my boss music I found from that boss killing game I had on Monarch Melee. Game jam. Oh God, it's numbers. How am I supposed to know? Dang, maybe I have to just do this later. Wait, I think I guessed right the first time? Yeah, this is that game. Where's the music? Air sound. Um, oh, here we go. All right. Anything that's like a bit more understated? Sure. I just want some placeholder music in there. I don't need to put this in here because I'm gonna replace it. I just want some quick placeholder music because it sounds so dead in there. And also then if I want to add what's it called? Want to add like sound effects and stuff, which I will have to do at some point. I need it in the context of some background music anyway. Fine. Let's add a audio source. Temp boss music. Mush battle theme 4. 1 is probably way too loud. 0.4 maybe. And yes. Yes, probably slightly too loud, but yeah. It makes jumping around feel a lot better. Okay, sorry for that distraction. Back to boss tech, back to the main thing. All right, so we did up, we did in 45 degrees, but sometimes it doesn't have enough force. It probably can get a little bit more here. Although at the same time, I feel like I need an answer to how I invoke it. Maybe this is the answer here, or I guess not in on land, but like instead of calling spawn basic add impl, maybe I can do just spawn basic add. Because yeah, that's the I think it looks better here where they all pop out at pretty much the same time. But for the other attack, I want the ability to give it a delay between. And in the interest of like the goal being to create a general helper for this, then you know, I need that capability. So is there already a spawn basic add? No, it's impl only. Perfect. All right. Let's go to the impl, and right above it, private void spawn basic adds. Need all the same parameters plus a min count, a max count, a delay. I just like call a lambda. I believe I can. Yes, yeah. So something like this. Yeah, just we can get the same behavior here, max, and it's simpler. It was doing a base plus a random range, but like that's just min and max with a different face. Um, then we loop over them, and if delay is greater than 0, we'll do this. And if it's not, we can just call it now. Basic add. But right thing. Oh, it's below me, I see. I think I have to change this though. So yeah, it's saying instead I can do this dot invoke. I keep using that. On basic add impl direction. What's the next line? I'm gonna have a lot of parameters. Direction, spawn angle. Enforce, max force, no spawn delay. Then instead of this, do spawn delay. That not right? Not. I need the. Oh, I see. I need. This is just basically a routine. Sworn I had done something like this. Oh wait. Oh yeah, same. Delay starters. Yeah, this is the bigger problem. So this is just I believe this start coroutine invoke routine. Oh, guess I can't. I don't want to like be in C# hell here. Let's figure a different way. Yeah, I see this is basically like writing invoke, but I am not seeing the ability to call this invoke. It's like I don't really want to hash all this property data on the class. Oh, this is showing me. Sorry, I'm looking at like documentation. Say, is there a delayed coroutine? Yeah, see, that's the thing about these docs. I find like a solution for like this random C# problem, and it may or may not be available to me. Specific environment. How about this, friends? Solution says I can maybe do this. Enumerator. On special or spawn basic add delayed float t, then same parameters. And then yields turn to 8 4 seconds. Spawn basic add ample correction on cone angle. I'm happy with that. Let's see. I'm gonna move it down here. Spawn, I would start on basic add delayed. And oh, it's up here. Spawn delay. Direction. This next line as well. On angle and force. X force. Seems maybe happy with it. Here we can just call on basic add. That's spawn delay. All I have to do is pass a non-zero delay here, see if it works or not. Okay, I was calling the input function directly. I want to get rid of this. So this is between 7 and 11. I'll just pass that. So I do spawn basic adds. Direction is up. We can update this in a second, but this is just basically a test of the helper function. Okay, so up. 45 degrees. 16 to 20. And 9 to 11. With a what? Just do. I don't want an actual delay in the long run, but now I'm going to add a significant delay just as a test of the functionality. I can comment all this out. Oh yeah, see, it's like spitting out all the time, which is because of the significant delay. So it works. I want to see where the stage happens. So I know jumping right, but what I really care about is my boss platform, which would already have been set by this time. So, well, let me see. Okay, yeah, this is still part of the on-land spew. So I know a platform. I can say my direction there equals if we are vector, if we are m boss platform equals platform to upper, then we use vector to up. Otherwise, our boss platform is left. Then we want to go slightly to the right. Let me just look up what 1-1 normalized is. What's a normalized 40-degree angle? 45-degree angle? They'll tell me. It's like the square root of 2 or something. Yeah, 1 over the square root of 2, which is what? Estimate on Wolfram Alpha. Oh, 0.707. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, so if it's left, if we're on the left platform, we shoot to the right. Oh. Actually, let's just say upper we do up, and then we can do a secondary check for left and flip the x, because then we'll only ever flip the x in that case, right? So I just can just say up or new vector 2 1 1, which is right. It's basically the same thing. It just splayed on out on. So if we're say if boss platform is left, then no, we actually want to check for right. We do nothing on left. It's already correct. But if we're right, we need to flip the x. Vector negative dir dot x dot y, else stir. And we pass dir instead. Okay, so we should see the same-ish behavior, the exact same behavior for the middle. But if he jumps to the left or he jumps to the right, there should be. It should shoot all. It should always shoot towards them, basically. Yeah, that looks right. Because we already confirmed our delay works, we can get rid of it because we don't actually want it here. Could probably get some more points. Oh, I fell out. And I think it should be slightly more up than um. It should still go slightly to the side, but it should be more up than side. So let's try 0.7, 0.9, and we can optimize it. How about even more? I feel like I noticed a significance there. That's pretty much fine. Okay. Um, I think that is like sufficiently cleaned up. We have all the knobs we need here. I think we can call that done for our Spew Rats helper. Okay. So now we want like an actual shoot rat attack. And because of our helper, that should actually be easy. Um, I guess the question is, do we know the player? I guess the boss controller can get the player. I can just hand it the player. It is like a top level control. Someone at the top. Let's have the player so I can target him. I know I'm at compile time. Why not? Set it once and I'm done forever. Okay. So we have like a jump attack or something. Jump attack. Let's add private void spew attack. Um, we would just say like const float. Should really put those const, but it's fine. Now for this one, I'll go back and clean it up later. We can start the next one with it. So we can have own angle. I want it to be pretty small. We're like trying to shoot at the player, but there should still be some randomness. Let's say actually 20. Uh, enforce. If it's 16 and 20 for the up shooting, then maybe like 20. And counts. I don't know. Or then the other one, right? If it's gonna be like a spray, we'll say like 15 to 20. And I'm gonna just see with all this and then change them. And then delay. Gonna be a lot of them, so it can be really small, but it should be something. And vector 2 dir is just player transform position minus m boss. Spawn boss transform position size. Okay. And we just call the function. This is okay. So we ideally have just a different kind of attack here with just sending different parameters to our same helper function. So let's just try out. Let's just say every time we land, we will also do a spew attack, and we'll say if our platform is not the upper. I don't want it shooting like downward. Platform is not equal. Okay, so on this first jump here, you should shoot at us. Kinda. I think maybe it needs an offset. Is there being maybe it either needs an offset or to go slightly faster, perhaps? I think it's getting worn down by gravity and overpowered by gravity. Also, just might call for another prefab variant that is less affected by gravity. But let's just try turning it up. That's fine. This is fine. But let's also add a offset that is slightly above the player. To incorporate the idea that gravity will be a factor here. That's just this. Let's target offset. In fact, this is just shooting for the player's head. It should probably even be even bigger. Be over the player's head. I hate the vector. Like sometimes the vector 2, vector 3 thing works, but it doesn't. Like it's. I guess I could go write the overrides myself, but it's weird to me what overrides did and didn't get written. Like it knows if I give a vector 2 to a vector 3 constructor to just 0 the z, but it can't like extend that idea to addition. Maybe people consider that to be an undesirable behavior. God, now the other thing also has to be. No? Happy with this? Yeah, that's what I thought. Boss 2. Okay. So, same idea. Some of the parameters slightly different, but all main thing is we're gonna try to shoot above the player's head here. Be like, I want to see if this. Yeah, needs even. And maybe more cone angle. Okay, I think getting close, but we're gonna revert the force back down. Because now that we're shooting overhead, we need less force to overcome it. Its current level of force, it kind of feels like fair. Okay, that shot was pretty good. Yeah, I'm getting blasted. It still can't hit that horizontal shot. Yeah, I'm using the target bonds. Guess it needs an even. Yeah, I can try like turning it way up, but I think what I'm gonna find here is I can't have the same. Uh, I'm not gonna be able to just have the same value for when the player is below versus when the player is horizontal. Tuning to one will make the other not correct. Maybe it should only shoot you if you're at like a nearby Y. Yeah. It's pretty much right. In fact, it could even be like slightly higher, probably. But I think it should only be in this case. I don't know. I think it functionally works, and I definitely don't want to get stuck up on speaking values all day. So we're gonna call that done in next thing. Okay. So next, I want to add more entry points for our yellow jumping rats. Um, and then instead of just, well, I guess we're already picking one of the two, so it just needs to be updated to pick one of the four. So not gonna do anything like too time consuming or fancy here. I think I'm gonna rework this slightly anyway, so I don't want to like worry about getting this tile map stuff perfect. I just really need the ability to test is um something like that. And on the other side as well. Wow, why am I working in a tiny area? That's this one. Sure though. All right. Just need to. I believe it's just this setting like Y position. See any reason. So I think the X is probably fine. It is this Y that needs to change, right? Is like 17.5, 8.5. So this just needs to split into 4 parts where I have private float. Okay, add spawn right is 17.5. On left is negative 17.5. Add spawn bottom, negative 8.5. And add spawn top is it says 2.69, so it's probably 2.5. Get rid of these, and we see what that breaks. On pause, right. So we just need to split this up. So now we have spawn pause X, spawn pause Y, just 50-50 on both of them. Yeah. X, Y. Not bot, is it bottom? Did I name? This is fine. And what is this? Same deal. Okay. So theory, at like our yellow jumping rat should sometimes spawn from the top two now. Find out if that happens. Layer I was using measure and expand. Double hit, right? Cool. Oh yeah, some stuff is sometimes coming at the top. Oh, it's dead so quick. I know I said I would, but in these I can see a little. I don't have to focus on it. I'll just see a little bit each time. Eventually it'll be right. Okay. But in terms of spawning in the top areas, I think it was right. The only thing that's like kind of weird is I kind of wanted them to be able to jump to this block here. So they might need like a little. Hey, I don't want to give them the same like platform because it mucks up the space for the player to be able to jump around in. Um, I don't want to make a ledge that the player can like hop on as a safe zone. Maybe if I just move them up a little. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna file a planned offline task here to enemies. Check add variant to hopping rat to check for upcoming pit rather than upcoming wall. Because how these jumping rats work is they're looking for little walls to jump over. So when they fall down, they're hitting this other wall. That's what's causing them to jump. The pit isn't causing them to jump. But if I add like a Boolean, a different mode, or a different component where they're actually checking below them, like a few steps below them, a few steps ahead but below them, then they will know to like jump here. Um, and they will probably make it to our. Actually, maybe I can play on. I mean, it's just as a quick experiment. If I cover this up, they'll see it as a wall. And I can put this up here instead. Just try that really quick. This one. This one. There. Now, yeah, this still has that. The player can stand up there. Uh, I know, yeah. I think the change in rat behavior is the better path forward there. But that's not something I want to do now. I want to focus what I'm doing now on the boss. It's slightly different. Yeah, ideal world. I could figure out a configuration that they could hop across the middle. But we added our cubby holes. We added the ability to spawn into them. Let's call that test done. Okay. So this wants to add another layer of rats falling from the ceiling. Um, so I'm seeing like the extent to which I can use existing helpers here. It should be like shoot ads, and then there needs to be another like helper function for setting them up. Like this stuff, this post spawn stuff. I think the force aspect of it is view function. The rest of this and group better. Here, this is everything about shooting. This is something. This is not relevant. It's really just these two calls. But that can still be a helper. Private void setup basic add. Or I guess maybe init game object add. Then take this bit, and that's going to go in that helper. Okay, get that. And now we go back, and instead of spawn, we're going to call this shoot. Rename all these to shoot because we're going to use spawn as like a more generic thing that just like, hey, give me a position, I'll do it, and then I'll call it. Reminds me basic ads. Stop it. Stop. Yeah. Okay. Now I add a new private void spawn basic ads vector to position. Then I guess int min count, int count. Do int count equal int count equal random dot range. Now dot equals 0 less than count plus I. Just instantiate and she. Oh, I wanted to as well. Dang. All these like extra layers of help. Actually, they'll just. Oh no, I think I spawn. Basic ads delayed at T. We don't care about any of these. And basic ad impl. We just do the instantiate here. Where basic base quaternion entity. Init basic ad. Okay. And we call this instead. That's boss. Same pattern here where delay greater than 0. Call the delayed version. Spawn basic ad. I guess I need a position as well as a random position set. Now here we'll get our position. Position. I guess I want base position and so offset equals random. Range. X equals set.x. negative, positive. Problem. Oh, yeah, yeah, fair, fair, fair. Offset X, you get offset Y. Then R, or I guess I'll just do pos equals vector base position X, base position dot Y, so offset Y. And we pass that pos there, right? With a spawn delay. Anything. Oh, right. And in the non-delay case, we just call spawn basic add impl at pos combination. All right. All right. I think that's everything we need to add to our on land here. Let me layer. Him to measure screen. Top of the screen, y equals 12. So what we plan, make a new helper function, ceiling. Where I basically just take the same. Well, rid of all this. I guess our vector 2 is pos positive 12. 2 vector 2 0 0 is the center. We'll say positive and random pos offsets. I'll say light vertical, but that vertical mostly horizontal. If we're going from negative 17 to 17, that's 35. So let's say 30. Oh wait, yeah. Oh, this is in both directions, so we want like 15. On basic adds. Base pos. Random offset. Count, say anywhere from like 5 to and make it significant play. Count, max count, spawn. Then on land, we'll call ceiling rats. Probably too many, but it looks like it works. This is almost like too chaotic. Yeah, some of these parameters are gonna have to go way down for sure. But this is starting to pose a reasonable enough danger to me. I'm about to die. Not really worried about like balancing at this point though. On lats fall from ceiling. Oh, fix rat velocity. Did I hit any of the rat velocity bug? So I was sometimes in testing seeing cases. Oh yeah, see that guy right there where he fell through and he has to get popped out. See if I can get it to happen again. Okay, it's fairly rare, but I think I just need to adjust the velocity cap and it should work. It's things that are falling to that basically go up too high, gain too much gravity, and their like small little hitbox falls through the in a single frame. So yeah, the fix there is just a velocity cap. Let's go to our enemies. These are sprites. I want the velocity cap. 32 high, I guess. Try 25. Okay, no one got stuck there. That might just be what need to happen. Oh yes, people still getting stuck for a single frame or two. Alright, but this really just needs to keep getting tweaked down. So it eventually just doesn't happen anymore. Dang, 22 also a problem. Eventually, I could probably fix it in different ways with collision. Give them a ring around them, kinda. But I think here at 18, oh man, I'm just getting that. But I think on 18, I'm not seeing it occur anymore. You can see it like very briefly for like a single frame. That is fine. That's what to be expected. At the end of the day, though, I notice how I like just tanked the Rat BMC. Bam, I can tank it. That's because to accommodate their heal, like their main level versions, they have a delay before they, their hitbox activates. So I could add another case to like this, where is it? The setup function here. Where I say, like, that's already what I'm kind of doing with the rat walk, right? It's just saying like, oh, this is gonna fade in, but I don't want it to. Um, so I could just add the same deal. I could just activate its collider right away, or its damage collider. It's, I'm instead gonna file like a do uh generally add boss specific variants rat enemies allows independent speaking about breaking other scenario. So yeah, it's fine for now. I put a follow-up task on figuring it out or fixing it with multiple prefab variants. And go ahead and cross that off. Man. So we are done the attacks and behavior section. Next up, boss health UI. I think this should be pretty straightforward. I already have a lot of built-in components for this. So let's go to the boss prefab. And I would add a new nothing. Just add a health component. Let's give him, I don't know, let's say 200 health to start with. Then let's give him a health bar. Something in the level, not on the prefab. So if I create a UI canvas, this would be boss UI. This. On that canvas, I want image that it uses like a fill scheme. How do I do that again? That's hard. Let's just look at the combo bar. I'll just copy everything. Let's go back to our main scene and steal that combo bar. Just copy this, go to boss test. Health bar, or I said boss help bar parent. Boss help bar BP. Boss help bar and boss text. All this rats. This way wider. Actually one. Okay. What next? This health bar needs, isn't there something like a UHED? Yes. Okay. So Q health display fill. Take a look at what this is doing. Okay, so this is just subscribing to health events. And yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be on the same object. So yeah, putting it on the health bar seems fine. I think it's actually what it's intended to do, right? 'Cause if I say update display, what is it actually doing? Oh, this is the interface. I need to look at the derived class. Okay, yeah, so okay. So as the boss spawns in, you need to point it to the display fillable, which I'm not sure if that's going to be a problem. We'll see. If it is a problem, we can look into just like having the boss already be in the level off screen. But let's see. Where mSpawn boss equals something. Okay. Here, say m boss health bar dot value. Yeah, it's only expecting to have a static value. Let's make this. Wait, no, it's. Yeah. We'll see if it's okay with. Well, on awake, it's gonna assert it's not null. Yeah, this is expecting it to already be set statically. Yeah, because that's when it's doing it. What if instead of this, we do this? Private void on enable. Have it be initially disabled. And we unsubscribe here? Try this instead. So now I think on awake it's gonna get its image. That's fine, that'll work. But if it's disabled by default, it won't care that it doesn't have a value yet. Let's go ahead and disable this. And then in the interface, it makes sense sometimes for it to be set now. And then in our boss controller, where we have our boss health bar, we set like m value to display is equal to m spawn to boss get component to HEA health. And then I can also say I'm boss health bar dot get component, or no, just enabled. I hit page down by accident or page up. That's the problem when you fat finger one of the pages. You don't know if you went up or down. Oh, it just switched scripts on me. That work. Let's find out. Oh, insertion failed. Why'd you fail? Oh, I didn't actually set it. That was supposed to fail. I have to point the boss to the health bar, I think. I'm still hitting that assertion failure. Yes. Let's do this instead. But kind of annoying that order of operations doesn't happen. I would prefer. Seems like on enable it's getting called already, or yeah, it's fine now. Well, actually, I don't know if it's fine because I don't know if it's actually listening to the boss's health. So now we need to add boss controller here on land, except the first one probably, but we can do even that first one for now just for simplicity. I think in our start here we want to get our health. We're gonna need our health to like immediately decrement it throughout the fight and care when it dies and stuff. So we go with like the boss movement and jump here. Spawn boss health. Save it here. Then on land. On land. Here. We deal damage or M spawn boss health damage. Oh, let's say 5. You give him like 200, right? Oh yeah, you can see it already dipped from the first land. I don't think it dipped that time though. Yeah, I don't think it's right. Getting called? I'm gonna die before I can bug break. Ah, yep. Let's try it again. Clearly the first damage happens, but why is subsequent? Okay. Seems like it should be happening. Oh, an applied delta would have called subscribers, I guess. Yeah, it should have sent an event. Let's see if wondering if it like unsubscribes incorrectly or something. Just a break here and see if it ever breaks there. I think the idea is it would not. Yeah, so I think I have somehow broken that display by changing this event setup. I guess to test that theory, I can just comment this out. Okay. No, still no event getting sent. Guess let me pause. A look. Looks like it should be listening. I know the display is getting. Guessing on enable isn't actually being called. Or it's only being. Let's see. Possible, just like setting enabled true is what I'm to do, and it's only should be. Yeah, it seems to me like. Yeah, so on and enable never hits. Probably have to disable the whole object. Let's try it. Back there. Boss control, and I gotta pin it. So we apply the damage, sure. I'm more care about the like start stuff. Yes, instead let's say game object, set active. I think this is what I have to go through to actually trigger the on-enabled, on-disabled callbacks. The first event still hits. Okay, yeah, now it's hitting every time. Cool. And yeah, it'll get there eventually. I'm getting distracted. Jumping around. But cool, this works now. I think I can then go and it's back because something we anyway. It's a boss health UI. Self while attacking, we did that as well. Okay, and this is like an idea of phases. So said that. So let me. This script is getting pretty big. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize some of these functions. So many helper functions. Okay. Uh, so I think I just want like an array attack frequency. Um, and also separating out spawning rats from like spawning rats is just happening all they're all kind of happening all the time right now. But yeah, so say something like private in difficulty stages for private constant a num difficulty stages. Then I would have attack frequencies a num difficulty stages. I think I need to set this up in a way. Floats. Okay, num something. Say 5 seconds, 4 seconds, seconds, and then 1.5 seconds. Okay. Then you also want health lost. Health lost values be big in the beginning and then get smaller over time because it's you're doing more and more attacks that each hurt you. So say like 15 or this is also just an array that we have to set up. If we're sticking at 2 here, it's fine. But if we get to more, we should instead just have an array of structs like phase data. So 5 to 4, it's happening what, like 20% more often? 12, and 4 to 3, and it's like 0.25 less, so down to 9. And we'll say 5 at the end. Be 10. Okay. So here in we need to keep track of what stage we're in, I guess. You can either dynamically determine all the time by I feel like I want a discrete function to just determine it. M current difficulty stage is 0. Oh, int. And here we'll have a helper function, private void check difficulty stage. This lets us do like a stage change when we potentially modify visuals and stuff. But for now, we'll just update our index. So just want to take the and spawn boss health, get max health. And then split it up into a number of parts equal to the number of phases. So max HP divided by k num stages. And then you say like basically just the floor of the division of phase HP, right? The example 200 divided by 4 gives 50, so 155 divided by 50 gives 3.1, or say 49 would give 0.9. So we need to do HP minus max HP over, or HP divided by max HP over stages. And then you do stages minus this, not the ceiling or the floor of this number, I guess. So that would be the floor is 0, 4 minus 0. I guess it has to be -1. Which 3 would be the final index, that's what we want. But in this case, 3 would go to 3.1 would go to 3. Which we would then minus, or 4 minus 3 minus 1 equals 0, which would be the first index, which is what we want. Okay, so phase index is that. Spawn boss health dot current. Just get that. So cur HP for phase HP, mathf floor of that. And then we do what is it? K num phases, K num difficulty stages -1 minus this. Same thing, be in either order. And then here, I'm not going to do anything with it right now. We could say if phase index is not equal M, current difficulty stage, do something. Like if you want to do something on a phase change as like an indicator. Nothing for now. Now we're just going to say M current difficulty stage. Stage index, phase index. Say switch this to stage. That's a problem. Float to int. Oh, floor to int. Okay. We can do just check difficulty stage here at the beginning. Probably only if we're not jump. We'll do it to land. Just jump if you're jumping. Like say float freak equals m attack frequencies m current difficulty stage. Then where we take damage, I think it's just on land. So we would have var damage equals damage something. Damage. Oh my god, what did I name that variable? Health lost values. Fine. Okay. So if this works, you should see our guy lose much more health at the beginning. And when he gets past 75%, we should be able to see like a difference. Okay, nearing towards 75%. Keep you below it now. Maybe I should just turn it redder and redder. Like, some like old school bosses do that. It does seem like he is speeding up. Okay. I think that worked. But I wanna take it further. I want it to control like more aspects of the fight here. So let's turn it into a struct. I'm trying to find those array things. I got it. There they are. Private struct faculty stage data. Public float back frequency. Click damage taken. I'm gonna take this opportunity to rename it for back. Click say can differentiate here between like regularly checked / used versus on stage change. Here we can put something like speed. Damage taken per attack, but then I want to add something like ceiling rat min and maxes. Be like something like a vector 2. M jumping rat spawn count. Ceiling rat spawn count. And spew rat spawn count. And shoot rat spawn count. These should all be vector 2 ints actually. Then we have our constructor. Just like switching my naming convention here. As I'm marking them public anyway. Creek should be an int. Vector to int. Pump count. Spawn count, I think, is all I can. Ceiling spawn count. Spew spawn count. Shoot spawn count. Oh, right, now I just need to do all the like setters. Just using the less lines here since it's just a on through or a pass through type thing. Spew. That should not like that. Spawn. What's your problem here? Oh, I missed an int. Okay, then move speed. Okay. I got struct, and here instead of an array of these things, I can instead have an array of my struct. Okay. Here we say stage data is new difficulty stage data of k known difficulty stages. And stage data, frequency, damage, vector to int. So this is the first one is the jumping spawn. I don't know, say 8 to 10 to start with. Ceiling spawn, since they're spread over a wider area, say what's the next line? Or we'll say like 12 to 15. Spew should start relatively low, I think. So we'll say like 5 to 8. Shoot. Oh wait, spew. I want more. Spew, and I confuse spew and shoot. And for the shoot, we'll do 5 to 8. and move speed just 8. I think that's what it is. Is that right? Okay, it just wants 4 more of them. Now it's happy. I just have to switch up the values. I should add a note here at the top that it is Back Freak. What was this? See, I already don't know what the second one, so I should. Oh, self damage. And it is. All right, what is it? I give up. Jump, ceiling, spew, shoot. Okay, so maybe we can even start bigger at like 6. Go down to 4. 2. As 4, 3, 1, 6, 15, 4. 2/3 of that to 10. 4 to 3 is like basically down to 7. We'll say 8. And then down to 1.5, we'll say 5. Okay, now, so we have the first two values. We'll leave the movement speed to 8. We'll deal with that at a separate time. So that's like the new next step of things. Just do the spawn values for now. So jumping rats go from 8 to 10, to 8 to 12, and 16, 12 to 18. Ceiling 12 to 15, go 12 to 18, go 15 to 21, say 18 to 24. Spew 8 to 12. This I think can increase relatively comparatively slowly. Because it is a little counterintuitive if we are going to get small. The last one here is shoot, which I think should increase the most dramatically. Like 18 to. Okay. Now we need to get rid of these two arrays and see what breaks. And we can replace it with our new stuff. Yeah, instead of health loss values, we do stage data dot damage taken per attack. Stage data dot back frequency. Then see, I knew I should have put this in variables. We'll do that now. Be like this. Well, I guess this is what the direction is. Let me just separate this out by this here. Okay. I have something like spew angle 5. A spew force min 16. A spew force max 20. Then we can say I guess console k delay is 0. Then we can say our min and our max is var sd equals m stage data dot something like m current state or something. Dot. We'll just get that. Then we do a spew angle, a speed force min, a speed force max. Bump it to the next line to do sd dot spew rat spawn count dot x, sd dot spew rat spawn count dot y, k delay. All right. So now we just do that for the other ones. So ceiling rats, let's this up. We have min count and max count. Instead, let me just copy this SD. And then we can say sd.ceilingRat.spawnCount.x, sd.ceilingRat.spawnCount. Okay, there's our ceiling. And the spew attack, poorly named, I'm going to rename it shoot attack to match the naming conventions elsewhere. Okay, and same deal, we get rid of min count and max count here with this stage data. Where we just do sd.shoot rat spawn x dot shoot rat spawn count dot y. The next line. I feel like I missed one. Oh, right, the special add spawn thing. Spawn amount is just random range. We have that SD? No. Wow, imagine if there was a typo in that and I copied it like 6 places. How much would that suck? Anyway, this is st dot special, or it's like jump. Rat spawn count dot x dot jumping rat spawn count dot. Okay. Think we should be good now. So in addition to moving, well, not moving faster, in addition to triggering its jump more frequently, its attacks more frequently, we should now see, it seemed like a large amount to start with. But in theory, it should become more and more over time. I don't know, I don't think these values are right though. Seems too much too early. Let's just break here. Okay. Current difficulty stage is 1, so that should be correct. And we are using jumping rat spawn count 812. I think the values are just starting too high. Now let's just turn our initial values way down. Still gonna get to hopefully like a similar amount of chaos eventually, but especially for the ceiling stuff, um, jumping around can start out at way fewer. That's good for our boys. Ceilings reduced, spew slightly reduced. Like we're in less than this video. 6 should be reduced the 10, 16. Try that out. Second. Is it like that? Shit, it says it's on 1x. I think the screen shake isn't properly set up, so it came off-centered. It's not like being restored to what it's supposed to be. It's really important. Just try and survive through to the end here. See if any particular... God, I am probably not going to survive through to the end. I think this is probably tuned up way too high still. I only have 10. It's not showing it, but I am surely 1 or 2 hits away from death. Ah, yeah, there he got me. Okay. For the purpose of testing, I'm gonna like significantly increase all these. For our boy through the stages more quickly. Ah, got me. Alright. I think this is definitely too chaotic, and also the spew could be a lot better. But I do think I'm doing a decent job with the attacks of just like sort of like distributing. Okay, it's getting a little crazy towards the end. That's supposed to, I guess. Too much. I at least need to make it so I can only get hit once per frame. If I fall down to that rack clump once, it's death. I take like 6 damage on my 10 health immediately. I guess the other thing that's happening here is it's doing every attack on every tick. It probably should be alternating. Seems like a design consideration. Really more interested in the today. Alright. Man is getting fairly aggressive. Oh, brutal. Alright. Got to 0, but he needs to actually die. That's the next step. Okay, but That is definitely. Oh no, that's the step I missed. Let's do the move speed and the other one-time stuff thing. I also want to make him smaller. The base amount. So let's go to I. Let's go to my what's it called? My struct. Where's my struct? Here. We also want a public float size. And we need to add that to the constructor. And down here we add new sizes. This should be 4. That's the starting size. Let's go down to 5. And then a 0.75, 2. Here's where we can use our helper function here. Where when we advance to a new stage, say boss spawned boss movement, set movement to get our stage data. And data, stage data at stage index. We set our movement speed to speed. And we're also going to try decreasing the scale. I'm wondering if it might have problems with the like particle system or like the plans to add squish and stretch. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I can just see if it works. That would be sd.size, sd.size. Okay. So now when the boss dips below 75, 50, 25, it should get slightly smaller and should also be making the horizontal jump slightly faster. Think it got smaller? I guess 3.5 is not that significant in size decrease. Got blasted there. Alright, I don't think it's shrinking. Let's see why. Rat boss. Scale is shrinking, it's just not actually affecting. If I do 1, it does nothing to the particles. What if I affect the particle parent? No, I'm gonna have to actually increase the size of the particle systems themselves. Ugh. I was hoping that a parent level squish would be enough. Is there no way I can... If I say a world simulation... No, that's not what I want. Oh, hierarchy scaling mode, that's what I want. Alright, let's try that out. So... Go to the boss prefab. And I set these particle systems to use scaling mode hierarchy. And looks like it was just scaling it back. Yeah, 1 is fine for, oh well, not when I put it in hierarchy. Basically, the parent has a size of 4, just like for the collider and stuff. So now that they're getting multiplied by 4, they need to get divided back by 4 to get the same end result. Still looks the same-ish as Yeah, it's fine. I just want to see it shrink when it gets to the next stage. Maybe it should just be more gradual. Maybe I should just be using it to alert. Blasted. It's also possible I think ideally I want to do it a little bit smarter than this. Like, for the scale is just making the rats like literally smaller, but it's the exact same effect. But in a better, more polished world, it would be modifying the particle properties instead of the raw scale. And maybe it should be a constant lerp instead of at thresholds. Let's try and get to the end here though. Okay. I'm gonna add a note to enemy/boss and add the note I need to scale, parent scale technically works for making systems smaller, but doesn't. Great. I think I have a like later task. Yeah, dynamic particle properties. Not sure that's gonna be doing. Probably only grab a few more. Maybe like animations would be a good thing to end on. So, all right, but yeah, I can cross off the sort of phase data. I feel like we have good systems there. Um, Win state. So this we just need to basically stop spawning everything, stop doing our logic, and I don't know, maybe we can probably just debug log for now. That I know we are that is correctly detected. We are done. So we had a, I think here that's something like private, void, on, boss, death. And we start, say, boss, spawn boss health on die, on death, plus equals boss death. Got that subscription. Then here we just want to something like particle get component, or let's var p systems equals spawn boss. Oh my god, why does it go straight to hell? Get component in children, particle system, p systems, or I guess for each var p system and p systems system. How is that not there? Oh, get components, p system. Thing false. Can I not do that? Main.loop equals false. Right, I have to do psystem.main, var main, main.loop false. Okay. Can I just like kill it? Or kill function? That might be better. End. Disable. Stop. Yeah, stop. True. Particle stop behavior. Stop emitting. That's all I need. And then I just had like a bool, I think. We have like jumping and stuff. Maybe we have health and stuff. Private pool dead. And lost death. Dead. Then on on update, where we're like counting down to do our attacks and stuff, if we're dead, just early out. Okay, so if we can make it to the end here, our particle system should stop playing. I didn't bother with the debug text because like the visual of the particle system fading away, it should be obvious, hopefully. Got napped. Oh, I'm not gonna make. I'm just gonna have to give myself like 99 lives, like a quitter. Let's try one more time before I just give myself 100 lives. I think the jumping between, especially with the delay in enabling rat collision, jumping between these two areas is the safest. And hop down in the middle. Except for when he lands. So you want to be, when he lands, you want to switch. So then you traveling under the middle platform. Oh god, no. God, that downstairs is death. That's probably too much on that. Oh, we got him. But it's spawning ceiling rats forever. Let's turn this. It's way too much. I know these values aren't final anyway, but I would like to be able to make it through. Just chill out a little here. And the other way to chill out is reduce these times. Okay. Alright, should be slightly more reasonable. I just want to make sure all the rats disperse and I eventually have free reign over this open area. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow there. But yeah, so the strat, he's going to hop down one of the sides, then I use the top safety while avoiding the spew, ideally. Okay, coming down. Ugh. Alright, I think I got it. I mean, it is slightly even more so on easy mode because of that collision delay. Some of these boys would be getting me. But I guess it's also kind of on hard mode from multi-hit being a thing. It would be my... Oh god! Ah, I got horribly multi-hit. I was gonna say it would be my intention that you can only, like, in a frame or even, like, you know, most games have an invulnerability window where, you know, I think this is set up where I could literally take, like, all 10 instances of damage of my life in a single second. That's, like, why I'm dying when I fell down to the lower level here. Other thing that I think would help the overcrowdedness of the lower level is if these top introducing rats could have some way to hop across and threaten the middle level. Because the lower level, well, I guess the lower level in some ways is inherently more dangerous because all rats fall down, right? So they're all gonna eventually end up down there. But you have cover from the ceiling rats. Oh, we got him. Escape. Oh, his collision box is still active. All right. So we made it though. So the one thing, so just disable collision on death that I could use. No, I'll just do it in here. On boss death. I'm gonna say spawn boss, get components, collider 2D. And I think it's the first, it goes physics first and then damage. So I'll say get components in children. Tip for beginner in Unity. Sure. Do you just like how to get started in general, or are you looking for like are you trying to do a specific thing? If you're just getting started in general, I think there are a lot of good tutorials on YouTube and stuff. Um, I think what you want to do, like the best thing to do, is just like implement a game end to end. Um, like whether it's Pong or Snake, just end to end, make the simplest game you can think of, but make the entire game from like, controls to UI to all that stuff. Here I can show you. You can see even on my itch, like I did have some previous game dev experience getting into it, but when I was first making Unity games, um, here's my itch. It's my general itch, but if you scroll down to like the very bottom, this is the first game I made here for a weekly game jam called Horselet Run. So it's like literally just jumping over spikes as the guy auto runs to the right. Auto running, jumping over spikes, and you just gotta get as far to the right as you can. Because that was the dead simplest game I could think of as to what I wanted to do first. Um, and if you, some people might like it, some people might not, but I think if you're okay with like pressure and maybe like only making it to a kind of done game and you have a decent amount of time to put into it, working on game jams can be a good way to force yourself to finish a project. So you can just sort of like search tons of different jams for all kinds of people with different skill levels and stuff on itch.io under that link there for .jams. So yeah, that would be my advice in general. Be just check out some like YouTube tutorials of like the most basic thing you can think of. Implement that super basic game, but implement it all the way to the end, and then just sort of keep doing that and just keep making slightly more complicated games. And if you want extra motivation or like a forcing function, game jams can be a good way to do that. Yeah, hopefully that answered your question. If you have like a specific Unity question, I may or may not be able to help you, but yeah, you can let me know if you do. Anyway, back to Vine Jump game here. Collider 0 is physics. Collider 1 is damage. So we're gonna get Collider 1 and disable it. So the boss can no longer do damage to us after he's dead. So let's double check that works, assuming it does. Yeah, I mean, I linked you that Torch Run game, and that's not an awesome winner game either. You just gotta sort of keep doing it, and each time you won't run into like the same problems. You know what I mean? Twice, or like if you run into a problem once and you figure out how to fix it, then that'll take you less time next time. If you're talking about the itch.io mini jams that are only 48 hours, that might be a little much. That's a pretty extreme challenge, I think, even for someone who's more experienced. I would look for game jams maybe on the time span of like a week or 2 weeks. Sometimes they're even as long as a month. Um, if you don't even, if you just like feel self-motivated and just have like you don't really need any extra forcing function or pressure. Um, you can just make stuff in your own free time. You don't need a jam to tell you what to do. It just can be nice that what a jam can kind of solve is kind of feeling like, do I really want to like work on this right now, or do I want to play a game of StarCraft? You know what I mean? Like a lot of the times I would choose, love to play a game of StarCraft right now. Because easy playing it's just easier to play something than to work and make something and learn something. So that would by giving you like a deadline, it can kind of give you that extra motivation. Well, I have to, make system X, Y, or Z because like I'm running out of time. Also, it's good for feedback if you're trying to improve, you can just use your rating system as like, okay, what did people like the most about this? What did people dislike about this? And how can I improve what people dislike next time? Yeah, so the big TLDR of my advice is just make and finish games, and you will need to start very small to do that. And so start very small, use game jams if they help you, but just make and finish games is like pretty much the whole thing. Yeah, on my itch there you can see like I think something like over 10 for sure, like 10 to 15 games. I was just doing like weekly game jams every other week, and I feel like they're getting better and better each week. But I guess that's a subjective thing. I definitely learned more and more each week for sure. Okay, since the wrap particle system stopped and I was jumping on both the platforms, wasn't getting hidden, I'm gonna count that as win state on death. It's already 9. Yeah, I think I just do the visual polish next time. I have like my own discrete thing this is like its own block to do next time. Um, and the other issue is I think I like briefly mentioned this before. Right now I'm doing 960 by 720 as my game resolution. I think this is a good like standard resolution for web. Most people have widescreen monitors, but in this like vertical game, and also my goal would be to be able to port it to the phone, where it probably would be encouraged to be um, oriented vertically. I think I want to change this viewport size, and that might lead to changing some of the visuals anyway. So it's maybe good that I don't get to these visuals. How long have I been learning programming? Quite a while. Let's see. When I was in college, I like started just randomly doing a text-based adventure. I called Guru Quest in my just in Python, where it was just like a zillion if statements. It was like press Y or no, go left at this fork in the road, because that's like pretty simple, right? I'm just displaying text on screen. I'm just debug logging. I tried to make a whole choose your own adventure game in Python. And then I switched up schools I was going to, and I switched to a school that focused on programming. So I did 4 years there. It's called DigiPen. It's in Washington State in the USA, and it's very small, but it focuses on game stuff. But then it also a lot of people go to non-game jobs. So in my day job, I do programming as well. So I've been working at that job for 5 years or so. Although like the game programming and the programming I do at my job are very different. So overall, I'd say I don't know. Something like depending on how much you want to weight it for how much I was focusing on it at the time, and like how much you count boring programming for game programming hours, something like 4 to 8 years, you could say I've been doing game programming stuff. Um, I've been taking some pretty serious breaks in between where there were like long stretches of time where the answer of like, what do I want to do? Make a game or play StarCraft or play Warcraft? It's just like play Warcraft. So yeah, not really continuous. I've been in a long streak now. I've been streaming for every Tuesday for I think this is week 21. So yeah, I think the stream has really been helping me recommit to regular game dev just because I'm basically like making a promise to the internet. Hey, I'm coming back next week. I'm gonna spend like 2 to 3 hours on my game next Tuesday, and I'm gonna try and do some of these things between now and then. So like, if I like don't do it because I don't feel like it or I just like am too lazy, I have to come back and say I'm gonna get it done, which provides me some a little extra incentive to do that. All right, but yeah, so probably gonna call it here. We got these two sections. We have this third section we can resume next time for just our visual polish of our boss. Um, I'm gonna put pending viewport rework, where like I said, I'm thinking about making the viewport more vertical than horizontal, um, to make it fit better on phones and work better with it being like a vertical game. Outside core here, viewport rework. I'm gonna try and do, well, like I said, that promise to the internet type thing. I'm gonna try and do a lot this week. I got a long weekend from Labor Day. I took the time last week to really organize my tasks in Trello to get a very clear picture of like what needs to be done and well segmented. So I'm really gonna try and get a lot of platforming work done between now and then because we hop back to the main level where instead of doing boss testing, so let's see, that would be resources, scenes, test, great main level name. We've just been sort of, I said this last week, but I'll say again, we've just been sort of adding and adding and adding stuff to our main level here over and over. And it's just getting a little bit crowded because for starters, the spawning systems aren't very smart. We have stuff like the challenge gems here that, also aren't very smart as to where they're spawning. Ooh, I beat it. What did I get? I don't even remember. Oh, that's buy something. You get health. We got like all these items in the shop because the shop is like outgrown the original small size. So yeah, the level is really suffering from too much stuff being crammed into it without a lot of thought about how that stuff is arranged. So my goal really here is to clean up. A lot of this stuff is from a platforming perspective to be a lot smarter about where things are spawning and get like some good heuristics about where are good places to spawn things. So it feels less crowded, it feels more streamlined, it feels more integrated as a whole experience. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do a lot of this offline work this weekend. It's gonna try and be like one of my more productive game dev weekends, hopefully. Yeah, next week we will be coming back to finish up the boss, finish up the visual aspects of the boss I list out here, like attack telegraphs, squishing and stretching, screen shake, stuff like that, just to make it feel a lot better. And then after that, once we have this level sort of this decluttering, plus the boss being done, we can stick the boss on the end of the level, and then we have like a full game there. That is sort of the vertical slice of the entire game, which is very cool. We will, from that point forward, just be in the content generation phase. That is probably also the point when that works end to end, where I will throw up a beta version on itch.io to welcome people to try it out and give me some feedback. But yeah, hopefully I'll do a lot of this cool offline work and I'll be able to come back next Tuesday and tell you how productive I was. And next Tuesday we will come back to our rat boss here and give him a little bit more visual polish so it's a nicer overall experience. Anyway, thanks for tuning in if you did. Like, follow, subscribe on all the things, whatever. I'm Quiet Bench Zen. Feel free to seek me out on places like Twitter, YouTube, and such. And have a good night.